Hi, good evening, everyone. Today, we are going to take some questions from microeconomics, one from each chapter. The aim is to go ahead and revise microeconomics thoroughly. Okay, so let us go ahead and let us take one question from each chapter each. The first question that I'm going to take is going to be from your budget line, right? So let us look at the question better. So please write down. The question says that you have Alice who has $24. A chocolate. So I'm going to call this as budget line. A chocolate costs $2 and strawberry costs $3. First, how many chocolates can Alice buy? Right? Second, how many strawberries can he buy? And third, draw her budget constraint. Very simple question to begin with. So we know that to buy the chocolates, you will do the maximum number of chocolates that he can buy. You will go ahead and you will do income by the price of chocolate. So income is 24 and price of chocolate is 2. So he can buy a maximum of 12 chocolates. To go ahead and understand how many strawberries he can buy, you will do income by the price of strawberries. So income is 24 divided by 3, maximum of 8 strawberries is what he can buy. And now because I know the two extreme points, I can go ahead and draw the budget constraint beta. So budget constraint ke liye, I will take chocolates here. I will take strawberries here. And this is 8 and this is 12. And I will join this line and this will be my budget constraint. So this is the answer to this question, that this will be your budget constraint. Okay, now please go ahead and take another question. And I am now going ahead and giving you a question based on utility function. So one question from each type I'm just giving you, huh? So please write down. Question number 2. This was 1. Question number 2. So now you're given that Alice utility function that is given to you as u is equal to root x plus root y whole square. And you are asked what will be his utility if x is 4 and y is 9. This is the question that you're asked. Very, very simple question. So in order to go ahead and do that, very simple, I will just go ahead and keep x as 4 beta. So root 4 plus root 9 whole squared. This is u. So this is going to be 2 plus 3 whole square, and that will be 25. So his utility is going to be 25. Achha, now, suppose in exam, they ask you, okay, no, just go ahead and give me equilibrium x star and y star. And suppose that this is not x and y. Suppose that this is px and py beta. This is not x and y. This is px and py. I'm giving you this as a homework. Try this question. How will you solve it? So you're given price of the two goods. And let's say you're also given income of the consumer as 36. You're given price of the two goods beta. And it is root x plus root y whole square. I want you to give me what will be x star and y star. That's a question that is for you to identify. Okay. Now the next question that I have, this was from utility functions. The next question that I'm going to go ahead and give you is the following. So please write down question number 3. So you are given that Bob's utility function u of xy is 2x plus y. This is his utility function. And you have to go ahead and you have to draw. This is from the chapter indifference curves. So draw his indifference curve. And then you have to go ahead and tell what is going to be the slope of the indifference curve. This is the question that is given to you. So beta, what you can do, we know that this is substitute good, right? Now, whenever you are given utility function, you will go ahead and keep the utility at some level. So let's keep the utility at 4. And I will say 4 is equal to 2x plus y. And I will plot this. Let x be 0. Y will be 4. Let y be 0. X will be 2. So I will just go ahead and plot this. And after plotting this, what will I get? Either x is 2 or y is 4. So this will be my IC. So like this, steeper ICs will be formulated. You will have steeper ICs, right? These will be your ICs. This is the question that was asked. Now, come to the next question, beta, question number 4. Now you're given Alice utility function u of xy is given to you as min of 2x comma y. And you're asked, this is from the chapter marginal utilities. And you're asked, what is marginal utility for x? And what is marginal utility for good y? So you're asked to find out the marginal utility of x and marginal utility for y. But we know that this refers to a complementary good function. So what we can do, beta? We can make different cases out of it, right? So my utility will be 2x. When will it be 2x? If the minimum of the 2 is 2x. When will be the minimum 2x? But a minimum will be 2x when 2x is less than y. And my utility will be y. If 2x is greater than y, then the minimum will come down to y. Hai ki nahi hai? Isn't it? The minimum will come down to y. So now you're asked to find marginal utility of good x. So when you ask what will be marginal utility of x, it means that this utility function should be differentiated with respect to good x. So better this will be, when I differentiate this with respect to x, 2. When I differentiate this with respect to x, 0. So we know that I will go ahead and I will get 2 or 0 respectively. This is if 2x is less than equal to, kahin ek jagah pe laga do, less than equal to y, and if 2x is greater than y. This will be your marginal utility from x. Similarly, marginal utility from y, differentiated with respect to y. So if I differentiate this with respect to y beta, I will get 0. If I differentiate this with respect to y beta, I will get 1. So it is if 2x is less than equal to y, if 2x is greater than y. This will be your marginal utilities. I hope this is clear to you. Okay, now let us go ahead and let us take another question. And this is going to be on utility maximization. Okay, beta. So please write down the question. This is going to be question number 5. So let's say that now, okay, let me give you the same question. So let's say that you are now given a utility function root x plus root y whole square. And the income is given to as 36. And the price of x is given to you as 6. And the price of y is given to you as 3. The question is find maximum utility bundle. Find that X star Y star which maximizes utility for you. Okay, so let us try to solve this now. How will you go ahead and solve this, beta? So, so we know that we must equate MRS to the price ratio. So your utility function is this. Your UY. Differentiate this with respect to X. You will get 2 root X plus root Y into 1 by 2 root X. Differentiate this with respect to Y. You will get 2 root X plus root Y into 1 by 2 root Y. And this cancels out, cancels out, cancels out, and you are left up with root Y by root X. But clearly we can see that MRS is negatively related to X, which means that I have convex preferences. If I have convex preferences, I can go ahead and I can equate MRS to PX by PY because X is coming in the denominator. So let me do that. So I will equate MRS to PX by PY. PX is 6, PY is 3. So this is going to be 2, 6 by 3. So I will get root Y by root X is equal to 6 by 3, which is nothing but 2. So if I square both sides, I will get Y by X is equal to 4. So Y will be 4 times of X. What is your budget line? Beta, your budget line is PX into X plus PY into Y is equal to M. PX is given as 6 into X. PY was given as 4 into, no, PY was given as 3 into, instead of Y, I will write 4X. Income was given as 36. So beta, what will happen? 6X plus 12X is 36. 18X is 36. X is 2. Y will be 4 into 2, which will be 8. So your equilibrium in this case will be 2, 8. That's the answer to this question. Okay, but I will give you one more question related to utility maximization. Please write down. So you're given u of xy is equal to 2x plus y, right? You're given px is 40. You're given py is, no, you're given px is 4. You're given py is 20. And you're given m is 40. Find equilibrium bundle. Find equilibrium bundle. So beta फिर से, this is substitute goods. For substitute goods, what do? We compare MRS to the price ratio. This is how we solve for substitute goods. So if I start comparing MRS to price ratio, what will happen? What is PX by PY? It is 4 by 20, which is 1 by 5. What is MRS? It is MUX by MUY, which will be 2. Clearly, MRS is greater than PX by PY, which means you will consume only good X. How much X? Beta, X star will be M by PX. Y star will be 0. M is given to you as 40. PX is given to you as 4. So X star will be 40 by 4, which is 10. And Y star will be 0. This will be your answer. This will be your equilibrium. Okay. Now, what we will do next, the questions that we will take next will be related to general equilibrium beta. Okay. So please write down the question. You're given that B has 2 fish and 6 coconuts, right? And in total, there are 10 fish and 10 coconuts, right? You should tell what should be the endowment of his friend AB. So please consider beta. There are 2 people, B and AB. B has 2 fishes and 6 coconuts. Totally in market, there are 10 fishes and 10 coconuts. So very simple. How much should AB have? Very simple. It should be total market, whatever market has, less whatever B has. So this is going to be 8, 4. So beta, AB will have 8 fishes and 4 coconuts. That is what AB is going to go ahead and have, right? Now, let us move one step ahead and let us introduce the Edgeworth box concept in it, right? Now, further, I am telling you that AB's utility function is given to you as UA is equal to FACA. And the second utility function, B's utility function, is FA to the power 0.25 and, sorry, FB, CB to the power 0.75. And I'm asking you, make an Edgeworth box and find equilibrium. And then draw the contract curve. But Edgeworth box is simple. The total fishes are 10 and total coconuts are also 10. So it will be 10, 10, right? Now, if you really think about it, in order to make the contract curve, these are well-defined preferences. So I know that equilibrium can only be found out where MRS of individual A is equal to MRS of individual B. MRS of A beta will be when you differentiate. So it will be MU F by MU C for A. This should be equal to MU F by MU C for B. So if I differentiate this with respect to F, what will I get? I will get CA. When I differentiate this with respect to C, what will I get? I will get FA. When I differentiate this beta with respect to F, what will I get? When I differentiate it with respect to X, numerator comes down. Numerator is reduced by 1 into CB to the power 0.75. And when I differentiate it with respect to C, what will happen? Power comes down, not numerator, sorry, power comes down. And then power is reduced by 1. And then this is FB to the power 0.5. So beta, you will get CA by FA. This will be 1 by 3 FB to the power minus 0.5, FB to the power 0.25, CB to the power 0.75, CB to the power minus 0.25. So you will get 1 by 3 CB by FB, and this will be CA by FA. This is called your equation of the contract curve. है कि नहीं है? This is what your contract curve equation looks like. This is where you have found out the equilibrium. Now, beta, I know that CA plus CB is 10. This is what is given to us. FA plus FB is also 10. So I can just say this, that CA by FA is equal to 1 by 3. 10 minus CA by 10 minus F. Minus CA. Just solve this a bit more, beta. 30 CA minus 3 CAFA is equal to 10 FA minus CAFA. ठीक है जी? So what will happen? You will get 30 CA is equal to 10 FA minus CAFA plus 3 CAFA. So 10 FA plus 2 CAFA will be 30 CA. This will be the answer to this question. This will be your contract curve. I hope this is clear to you. I'm just equating MRS to PX by PY and I'm getting the answer in this case, right? So this is what will happen in this case. This is what is mutually beneficial for them, right? So this is the answer to this question. Uske baad what you can go ahead and do is you can also, after equating, you can also go ahead and you can also put that in the Edgeworth box. Edgeworth box में भी उसको दिखा सकते हो. So what can you do? So your Edgeworth box was something like this. 10 cross 10 था ना? So this was your Edgeworth box. Beta, on the x-axis, I had taken the F. F is what? Fishes, na? So on the x-axis, I had taken fishes. On the y-axis, I had taken chocolates. This is OA, this is OB, right? So what we have found out is that if you were to go ahead and you were to solve this, then this is, so both of them are well-defined preferences. So the contract curves will be where the two ICs are tangent to each other, right? And joining them, you will get the contract curve. But the equation of the contract curve will be something like this. This will be the equation of the contract. Okay, so this curve that we have drawn, the equation of this curve will be this. Okay, beta, so this is a question on contract curve. Now, beta, let me go ahead and give you a question on the production function, right? So please write down. Next question. There is a cookie factory production function given to you as Q is equal to K to the power 3 into L. How many cookies can you produce with 2 ovens? That will be your capital, and 3 grandmas. That will be your labor. So how many cookies can you go ahead and produce in this case, right? So very simple, beta. I just have to put this value. So I will get Q is equal to 2 to the power 3 into 3, 8 into 3, 24 cookies can be produced, right? 24 cookies can be produced. Now, let us go ahead and let us take one more question based on this. So supposedly, now they have gone ahead and they have asked you the following. They have said that you have this production function, plot the isoquant for this production function. तो बहुत सिंपल है. I know that I am given Q is equal to K to the power 3 into L. I can put some value of Q. Maybe I can just go ahead and I can say let Q be 100. So 100 will be K cube into L. And then I can just go ahead and plot this beta. So let's say that L is 1. Then K will be, K cube will be 100. So K will be 100 to and so on and so forth. So when you will plot it, you will actually get a well-defined isopond. So this is how you can go ahead and plot a well-defined isopond. Now, third part to the question. Find marginal product of labor and capital. So, so the production function given to me is K cube into L. So marginal product of labor will be differentiating it with respect to L. So you will get K cube. And marginal product of capital will be differentiating it with respect to K. So you will get 3K square L. This will be your marginal product. Now the next part says find out marginal rate of technical substitution. Again, it's pretty simple. This is nothing, but this is beta MPL by MPK. So MPL is K cube, MPK is 3K square into L. So this will be K by 3L. So this will be your answer to this question. Now the next part says that you're given rent as 3, wage as 2, find equilibrium K and L. Right? So we know that at equilibrium, we want to go ahead and we want to equate MRTS to W by R. So MRTS is K by 3L. This will be equated to W by R. So beta, we will from here get that K is equal to 2 by 3 into 3L. So this will be 2 by 2 into L. Now, if you remember, my output was 24. I wanted to go ahead and produce 24 units, suppose. So suppose it tells you that you want to produce 24 units. So beta, Q will be 24. Q kya tha? K cube into L will be 24. But beta, K is 2 times L. From this equation that MRTS is equal to W by R. So K is 2 times L. Whole cube into L. This is 24. So 2L to the power 4 is 24. So L to the power 4 is 12. So L will be 12 to the power 1 by 4. This is the amount of equilibrium labor that you will be using. I hope this is clear. We went step by step and we did all the steps in this case. Now, let me give you another question and let's take some other production function in this case. So you are given that there is a bus company. And this bus company, it needs to go ahead and it needs a driver. And the driver also needs a bus. So the production function is min of KM. Driver and bus are complementary to each other. You're also given that rent is 1 and wage rate is 3. You're given that company needs to operate. Company needs to operate 100 buses. The question is find cost minimizing level of K and L. Again, let's try the question together. So beta, I need to operate 100 buses. That means I am given that Q is 100. So I will have 100 is equal to min of KL. You always produce at the king. So K is equal to L is equal to 100. This will be your equilibrium. What is cost, beta? Cost is WL plus RK. W is 3, R is 1, L is 100, K is 100. So the minimum cost that you will be incurring will be 400. And that is the answer to this question. Is this clear? Okay. Now, let's move one step ahead, beta. Now we will take a question from competition. Right? From competition. So the question is as follows. You are given that the demand curve equation is 7 minus P. First, you have to give the quantity demanded if price is 3. Second, if consumer has purchased 4 ice cream, what is the price that you would have kept? That's the question. Okay, let's find out. Very simple. So if price is 3, how many ice cream, how much can you demand? 7 minus 3, which is 4. That's the A part. Second part. If consumer is demanding 4 ice creams, so QD is 4. So 4 will be 7 minus P. So P will be 7 minus 4, which will be 3. That is the answer to this question. Let us further go ahead and let us further find out more to this question. So now the next part to this question says, find consumer surplus if price is 3. So what is consumer surplus, beta? Consumer surplus is area above price below the demand curve. My demand curve is QD is equal to 7 minus P. So this is something like this. This is also 7 and this is also 7. This is P and this is Q. It is telling me that price is kept at 3. So beta, when P is 3, what will be Q? 7 minus P. 7 minus 3, that means 4. So Q will be 4. What is consumer surplus, beta? This. This is consumer surplus. So consumer surplus is area of this triangle, half into base into height. This height is also 4. So half into 4 into 4, that means 8. So your consumer surplus in this case will be 8. It will be 8. Okay. Difficult question. Find consumer surplus in the following cases. QD is equal to 1 by P square. Right? So beta, note that in this question, you are actually gone ahead and given not a linear demand curve, but a non-linear demand curve. Whenever you have a non-linear demand curve, the only way to find consumer surplus is by the method of integration. So you should be aware of integration to solve this. Let's try this question. So beta, solution. So QD is 1 by P square. So P square will be 1 by QD. So P will be 1 by root of QD. P will be 1 by root of QD. Okay, ji. Now it is asking to find consumer surplus. Acha, I didn't give you the prices. So suppose add P equal to 1 and Q equal to 1. Add P equal to 1. Suppose you're given price is 1, or suppose you're given quantity is 1. So beta, if quantity is 1, what will be price? 1 by root 1, which will be 1. So this will turn out to be a rectangular hyperbola. And when you have this as 1, this is also 1. Consumer surplus को निकालने के लिए, in order to find consumer surplus, you must go ahead and you must find out the area under the curve, right? You must find out the area under the curve, right? So you must go ahead and differentiate something like this. Yes, so jagah suppose not a rectangular hyperbola per se. Yeah, a rectangular hyperbola only. So area below this, if you integrate it, you will get area below this. And out of it, if you subtract this one, then you will get consumer surplus. So consumer surplus is beta if I integrate from 0 to 1. What will I integrate? I will integrate this curve. So 1 by root QD into DQ. And I will subtract this area, this rectangular area, which will be 1. That will be consumer surplus, right? So this will become QD to the power minus half from 0 to 1 DQD minus 1. So beta, what happens in integration? You should know that power increases by 1, right? Power increases by 1 and that comes down also, right? So you will have this, when you solve this, you will get the answer as 1. So this is how you can find consumer surplus. Very simple, but you should know consumer surplus in this case. Okay, now beta, I will give you another question, but now I will give you on producer surplus. So please write down the question. The supply for video game is given by the equation Q is equal to ln 2p. Right? It is given as Q is equal to ln 2p. It says find producer surplus at P is equal to 1. This is the question that you are given. Again, this is a non-linear supply curve. Whenever you are given a non-linear supply curve, in order to find producer surplus, you must go ahead and you must follow the steps of integration. Only then you will be able to solve it. So what is producer surplus? Producer surplus beta is whenever you have a supply curve, then area below price, above supply curve, that is called producer surplus, right? So I have to go ahead. If I have to find the producer surplus, there is another way to do it. But if I use the method of integration and suppose यहाँ पे P के corresponding, I find the value of Q and I integrate this curve, then I will get this area. By integration, you always get area below. And if you subtract this area from the area of the square, then you will get producer surplus. Then you will get producer surplus. Now think, beta, when P is 1, when P is 1, Q kya aa raha hai? Q is ln 2 into 1. That means ln 2. So when P is 1, Q is ln 2. Right? Now, if I go ahead and I first find the area of the square, that means P into Q karte hain. What is P? 1. What is Q? ln 2. So area of square will be 1 into ln 2, which will be ln 2. Then I will find area under this curve beta. So area under the curve mane what? I will integrate from 0 to ln 2. What will I integrate? I will integrate this curve. And what is the curve that I have? My curve is this. Q is equal to ln 2p. But bachche, I will always integrate with respect to Q. So I must go ahead, rewrite this such that it is in terms of Q. So how will I do that? Beta, if Q is ln 2p, then you can take it to the power e on both sides. And you will get e to the power q is equal to 2p. So beta, p will be e to the power q by 2. So I will go ahead and I will integrate e to the power Q by 2 dq. ये हो जाएगा ये वाला part. So what will be producer surplus beta? It will be L into area of the square minus integration of e to the power q by 2 dq. I'm leaving the integration to you. Just solve this. I am telling you that the final answer will come this. This will be your answer. Okay? This will be your answer. I hope this is clear. Okay. Now we have taken a question on consumer and producer surplus. Let us go ahead and let us take a question on equilibrium beta. So you're given that quantity supplied is C plus dP. Quantity demanded is A minus BP. Find equilibrium price and quantity. So we will equate demand to supply. So what will we get? C plus dP is equal to A minus BP. So dP plus BP is equal to A minus C. So P will be A minus C upon D plus P. Now you have got the value of price. Put it in any equation and get quantity. I'm leaving that to you. Sorry. Okay. Now let us go ahead and take a question full-fledged on monopoly. So the demand for lemonade, suppose, is given to you as P is equal to 13 minus Q. You're supposed to write the total revenue function. You're supposed to find total revenue when Q is 5, right? Then suppose you're given that total cost is 3Q. You're supposed to find profit, right? And finally, let's say that you are given, you're not only supposed to find profit, but you're also supposed to go ahead and find profit maximizing quantity. So find profit maximizing quantity. This is all given that it is a monopoly market. Okay, you're given that it's a monopoly market. Let's solve this better. So P is given to us as 13 minus Q, right? And this implies that TR will be 13 minus Q price into quantity. So total revenue will be 13Q minus Q square. That's the first part. If you're given Q is 5, can you find beta TR at 5? It will be 13 into 5 minus 5 square. 65 minus 25, 40. Then it says you're given TC as 3Q. So beta, what is profit maximization in case of monopoly, where MR is equal to MC? So if I differentiate this with respect to Q, I will get 13 minus 2Q. This is MR. MC is 3. So I get 10 is equal to 2Q. Q star will be 5. So my profit maximizing quantity will be 5. Finally, but a profit will be TR minus TC. TR is this. 13 into 5 minus 5 square. TC is this. 3 into 5. So this is going to be 65 minus 25 minus 15. 65 minus 40. That will be 25. So your profit will be 25. That's the answer to this question. Okay. Now, let us go ahead and take a question on oligopoly. So the question that I want to go ahead and I want to give you is this. You're given that there are two firms and they face the demand curve. P is equal to 700 minus 3Q. The marginal cost of the first firm called Zach, his marginal cost is 100. And there is another firm called Yan. The marginal cost of that firm is 400. The question is find Cournot equilibrium. Find Cournot equilibrium. ठीक है जी. So let us do that. But a profit of Zach will be price into the quantity he sells minus his cost. This is going to be 700 minus 3 QZ plus QY QZ minus 100 QZ. So beta his best response. इसको थोड़ा और solve कर सकते हो. 700 minus 3 QZ minus 3 QY into QZ minus 100 QZ. 700 QZ minus 3 QZ square minus 3 QZ QY minus 100 QZ. So if you differentiate this with respect to his quantity, you will get best response. That will come as 700 minus 6 QZ minus 3 QY minus 100 equal to 0. So beta मिलेगा 6 QZ plus 3 QY is equal to 600. So you will get 2 QZ plus QY is equal to 200. This will be his best response function. His best response function. Now find out the profit of Yan. What will that be? So 700 price minus 3Q. This is the profit price into his quantity minus his cost 400 QY. So beta open this up. This will be 700 minus 3 QY plus QZ. QY minus 400 QY. This will come down as 700 QY minus 3 QY square minus 3 QZ QY minus 400 QY. But if I find his best response, differentiate it with respect to Y, you will get 700 minus 6 QY minus 3 QZ minus 400 equal to 0. So you will get 300 is equal to 6 QY plus 6 QZ. Not 6, sorry, 3. है कि नहीं है? So if you solve this, you're going to go ahead and get divided by 300 is equal to 2 QY plus QZ. This will be your second equation, बच्चा. तो बेटा दो equation आ गई. 100 is equal to 2 QY plus QZ and 200 is equal to 2 QZ plus QY. Solve these two equations simultaneously and you will get the answer to this question. Okay? So if you go ahead and solve this question, what will happen? एक बार थोड़ा simultaneously कर लो. So instead of QY, you can replace the value from here. QY will be 100 minus QZ by 2. So 2 QZ plus 100 minus QZ by 2 will be 200. So if I solve this, I should get 4 QZ plus 100 minus QZ is equal to 400. 3 QZ will be 300. QZ will be 100. QZ will be 100. This is what I am getting. So QY will come as 0 in this case. So you will have QZ as 100 and QY as 0. This will be the answer to this question. Okay. So very simple. In Kurno, you just go ahead and you find the best responses, solve the two best responses simultaneously and get the answer. So QY, when I put QZ in this equation, will be 0. This will be your equilibrium in this case. So this is what I wanted to go ahead and do today. We have gone ahead and literally revised one question of each part. And you can go ahead and take this as one